Have you ever wondered how much taxes you're going to need to pay in retirement? And could you have to pay more taxes in retirement than you pay now? Well, if you've ever wondered the answer to that question, then make sure you stay tuned for this FERS Federal Fact Check. Hi, I'm Micah Shilanski with Plan Your Federal Retirement. We have a great question that came in today from Michael about taxes in retirement and what changes from when you're working to when you're retired. Michael writes in and says that he retired from the DOT. Well, first off, congratulations, Michael. That is fantastic. So he's retired from the DOT in January, and he just received his first W-2 from the Department of Interior. And it says that he paid money into SSA, Social Security Administration, and also Medicare. I did not know that I still had to pay into Social Security after I retired. Can you please verify this is correct? If not, who do I contact to fix this problem? Thanks so much. Michael, thank you for your question. I really appreciate that. Now, as we go through and we start talking about your questions about how things work into retirement, we got to understand a little bit of a step back in how do taxes work. So let's take a peek at it. When we are working, we're going to get a W-2. And a W-2 is for wages you're getting while you're working. You got to pay several things, several types of taxes. There's a lot of deductions that are going to be coming out of that W-2. For one, we got to pay federal income taxes, FIT. You might have to pay state income taxes. You have pension. Your FERS pension is being withheld and deducted from that. You're going to have Social Security, which is going to come as FICA. And then you're also going to be able to have your inside of this as well as your Social Security tax and your Medicare tax, which is going to be deducted out of your pay. These are taxes that you have to pay while you're working. Now, granted, your FERS necessarily isn't a tax, but it is a withholding that's going to come out that's going to help with your pension, which is fantastic. So that's while you're working. What happens once we've retired? When we retire, we get paid under a different type of retirement paycheck. It's a retirement check on a 1099-R. That's the IRS form that you're going to be getting when you retire. The R is for retirement. What could this be? This could be from your TSP, you get a 1099-R. This could be from OPM, you get a 1099-R, and that's for your pension that you're going to have. So what taxes do you need to pay on your 1099? Well, one, you got the same federal income tax. We still got to pay federal taxes, and you still got to pay state income taxes as well, depending on where you live and what those rules are. Is there any more FERS withholdings? No, you're retired. You don't have to have any FERS withholdings. What about FICA, Social Security and Medicare? No on those ones as well. We don't have to pay those into retirement. Those are just what we have to pay while we're working, paid into the system. Now keep in mind, what Medicare has is there's several parts of it, right? Most things for federal employees is we got to worry about Part A as in Alpha and Part B as in Bravo. Part A is the only thing that you're paying for while you're working. So it's paid up at the time of 65 years young. That's for Medicare Part A. You're not paying into Medicare Part B while you're working. So that could be at 65, you may have to sign up for Medicare Part B and pay for that. And that would come as a withholding out of your Social Security, or you'd have to make that payment directly to them. I like to call Medicare Part B quasi-optional. You don't have to have it. You just really have to have it. So there's other videos that we talk about on that, kind of the pros and cons. So Michael, back to your question, your W-2 that you received, here's what I'm guessing. It was probably the last W-2 that you got, probably for your leave cash out that you had. We see this a lot with the clients. They'll retire in December, but so they'll get their W-2 for, for all of the year that they worked in January for the previous year, which would make sense. But then the following year, they get another W-2. Well, why is that? Well, when we retire in December, remember we're cash taxpayers, right? So we pay everything January through December 31st is our tax year. But if you retired on 12/31, your last paycheck doesn't go into January of the next year. So the following year, we're still going to get a W-2 on that, but it's only on your leave cash out, any last earnings that you had. So Michael, hopefully that answers your question. If you have questions like these, then make sure you stay tuned for our webinar, the 3 classic mistakes federal employees make when they're getting ready to retire. Let's make sure you're aware of your benefits, how they work in the future. Until next time, happy planning.